Well, hello everybody! Today we come with a new poem. I've actually never heard of this author before. He's actually pretty famous, it's just most of the poetry that I know is probably in Spanish. My favorite poet is in Spanish, so he's from Argentina. But anyways, this is kind of a different poem. It does have some social critique, which I love. He's American, so we do know that he's in America. And yeah, we'll get started. I'll explain the different aspects of this poem because there's a lot to explain. It has a lot of interesting aspects to it. So let's get started. Let's start reading. The poem is called "An Agony as Now" by AMIRI Baraka. I am inside someone who hates me. I look out from his eyes, smell what foul tunes come into his breath, love his wretched women. Slits in metal for sun, where my eyes sit turning at the cool air, the glance of light, or hard flesh rubbed against me. A woman, a man, without shadow, or voice, or meaning. This is the enclosure. Flesh, where innocence is a weapon, an abstraction. Touch. Not mine, or yours. If you're the soul I had and abandoned when I was blind and had my enemies carry me as a dead man, if he is beautiful or pitied. It can be pain, as now, as all his flesh hurts me. It can be that, or pain, as when she ran from me into the forest. Or pain, the mind, silver spiraled whirled against the sun, higher than even old men thought God would be. Or pain. And the other, the yes, inside his book, his finger, there withered yellow flowers and were never beautiful. The yes, you will, lost soul, say beauty. Beauty, practice as a tree. The slow river, a white sun in its wet sentence. Or the cold man in their gale. Ecstasy, flesh or soul. The yes. Their robes blown, their bowls empty. They chant at my heels, not at yours. Flesh or soul, as corrupt, where the answer moves too quickly, where the God is a self, after all. Cold air blown through narrow blind eyes. Flesh, white hot metal, close as the day with its sun. It is a human love. I live inside. A bony skeleton you recognize as words or a simple feeling. But it has no feeling. As the metal is hot, it is not given to love. It burns the thing inside it, and that thing screams. The first thing that we have going on is the separation between body and soul. The narrator explains how the soul, which is the one that is speaking, has no control over the body or has even chosen to be in it. Basically, he's caged in it. So he has to bear with the sensations, the smells, what he sees, what he tastes, like everything that the body does. He's just wound up inside it, and he cannot do anything about it. It's like two complete different entities. Also, an interesting thing is that even though it's a very unique and strange situation, the poem is written in simple words. You can understand everything. It doesn't have like any complicated words. So, going a little bit more into Baraka. While he wrote this, he was actually under the name Leroy Jones. At the time, he would spend a lot of time with avant-garde artists in Greenwich Village. Sorry. So that's why the whole poem is a little bit like strange. It has like weird pauses. I'm gonna put an image of the poem itself so you can kind of check it. And you can see how when I read it has like the separation is with bad punctuation. You can see like the parentheses are never closed, etc. So basically the poem has a lot of avant-garde characteristics. For example, some avant-garde artists would be John Ashbery and Charles Olson when it comes to poetry. And for the people that don't know what avant-garde is, which is also including myself, is basically an art movement from France. And it composes experimental, out-of-the-box and rule-breaking kind of poetry art. So yeah, he would mingle a lot with this kind of poets, and I think you can tell from the whole structure of the poem how it affects it. Also, this poem is basically about USA in the 20th century, how a black man lives life in this specific scenario. So he uses more symbolism than description, like in the poem of The Mermaid that we talked about, like I think it was the second video. It was more of a description poem, and like there was a list at first, but you can tell right away this is a completely different thing, and that's what I was talking about at the beginning of the video. It's more symbolism, which is my favorite thing ever. So he's trying to make you focus on the feeling and tonality of the poem more than the description of things. He's also expressing a painful situation that he's going through. He's basically the only one that can be aware of whatever he's going through, and other people are going through it, but they can't tell how he's feeling. It's like individual of each other. And you can kind of understand this by the line, "The people with hard flesh," and coma, "the cold man." These are two different stanzas. Then right away, it is noticeable how fear, darkness, and despair are the prevalent themes in the poem. Which again is one of my favorite things. I love poems that have this kind of feeling to it. So like I said before, mentioning or going back to the avant-garde, that's why he uses bad punctuation. He never closes the parentheses. So actually he had a purpose aside because he wanted to be part of the movement. Because from an outside perspective, or if you don't know what the movement is, it's like, oh, that seems pretty unprofessional and not polished at all. But he's trying to provoke uneasiness on the reader, as well as he's not letting you get completely immersed in the imagery, because he wants you to critique with an open eye, be aware of like what he's trying to say with the poem. And also it creates great rhythm. So again, if you read the poem, which you can, because I'm gonna put an image, you can see how the punctuation creates rhythm within it. I actually love that. So talking about that, the question is, what is he trying to say? So he's trying to represent racism in 1964 in New York. It's the allegory of a body you can't change, you were just born with, and you're basically enslaved to it, literally. And people will just see you by that, and you're caged, like your soul is caged to your body, and you can't escape from it. It's like you can't stop being a black man in America, right? So aside that, he's also trying to mention how Western education has promoted over the years this behavior, and has also corrupted society in so many other ways. Basically American society, which is the one that we live in, and actually American culture does still affect other countries. Definitely still affects mine. We take a lot of things from you guys, so basically our system, well, American system, is a system that supports oppression and the bad propaganda of people of color, which of course were the same people they used and mistreated, to say the least, to thrive. So that's basically the meaning in a nutshell. I'm not explaining like as much as before because again my videos tend to get really long. So this is like the point of what he's trying to get to. So then an antagonist is mentioned. This person or this group of people are following him closely and blindly chanting. From my point of view, it could mean like spreading rumors, talking smack, cussing, and he's trying to get to white supremacy. So, but I guess like it has a good ending because in the end, the speaker has finally had his awakening. Like I said, he's woke now, as we call it, and understand how society in America actually is, how it really is. So basically, there's nothing much that I can say from my opinion because I'm not a black woman. I don't know how it feels. I don't think I should be the right person to talk about this kind of situation. But I completely support BLM movement. And I love this poem. I love what it's trying to say. I completely agree. I really like this author. The other thing that I know is the things that I've heard, or things that I've seen like on the news and stuff like that. I can only say that is true even to this day. Even when this poem was written, like, what was it, on the 60s? It hasn't really changed. I mean, things have improved, but it's still there. It's still happening. And I can only tell that even, people from my country, they are a little bit racist. So it does affect everybody, everywhere. Again, I wouldn't say it's the same amount of racism, like, people to suffer so much more here. And also, I don't think I can really talk that much about racism. I mean, I can, but basically the whole green card process and the whole airport thing, that I don't know if I ever really talked about this before, but I'm sure another poem will come up for me to talk about it. But I do live like basically just with my family. I can't drive, I can't go out. I haven't really had that much contact, so I don't know to that extent. Sometimes I feel weird with certain kind of people, like around, like, I have this like weird feeling like they have some kind of superiority complex, but nothing concrete. So that's all I'm gonna talk about when it comes to my thoughts on it. So thank you for watching, thank you for listening. I hope you like the music. If you like the art, you can check out my profile. There's my Redbubble account, my Instagram. It will help me a lot if you would check either of two. If you like it, please throw a like, and if you want to comment about it and tell me your thoughts about it, I would love to know. That'd be great. I love having this kind of discussions. So thank you. Bye.